I'm going to do a top-down analysis of micro gold futures for today. The market has already opened, and in fact I have already set a couple of trades, but it doesn't hurt to look at what's happening on the charts right now and to see what's happening so that we can know where the direction of the market might be going and what we might do next. So at the moment you can see my chart, you see the candlesticks there, and I have got quite a few lines already on my chart. This is a daily chart. And we always do a top-down analysis, and I start from the daily time frame. I actually trade a much lower time frame. I normally am trading at the moment on the 1 minute, but to get a good grip on what's going down on the 1 minute, it's good to look at the high time frame so that you're not trying to trade against the trend. When you try and trade against the trend, you end up in trades that are not so high probability, and we want to make the trades that we're placing as high probability as possible so that we can hopefully make a profit. So at the moment, like I said, you can see all my markups there. We'll talk about them in a minute. But normally what I do is I go into my drawings thing and type in hide, and what I'll do is I'll hide my drawings. So there we can see a nice blank chart. I also have the Lux Algo Fair Value Gap chart indicator on, so I'll turn that off as well so we can see very clearly what's going on. At the moment on the daily, we're in a very strong uptrend. We can see that because we are trading well above the EMA that I have on my chart, which is that dark blue line that's running from the bottom left up towards the top right. We can see that there was a correction in the market at the end of January, early February, but now we've started to trend back up in a bullish direction. We can see that Thursday, so not the current candle, but 2 candles in, we've got on Thursday very little movement in the market. We were waiting there, I think, to see some things that were happening. And then Friday we were bullish, and today clearly we're bullish. We've gapped up on the daily and we're still climbing. So now we go down to the 4 hour and we see what's happening on the 4 hour. I think it's very interesting to see that on the 4 hour, the EMA is quite flat. It goes to show that despite the fact that overall on the daily, we have very bullish price action, that there's always that chance, isn't there, that something might push the price back down. We've kind of danced around the EMA above, below, and now we're back up above it, and we're trading in a bullish direction. We've actually just broken structure. So what I'll do is I'll put my drawings back on. We've broken structure, so we can see here we've got the red line here at 5169. That is just above there. We've broken structure out to the upside. We've now moved higher. We've just passed through a 15-minute support and resistance line. We're coming back now to retest that support and resistance line. And I think, considering everything that's been going on at the moment in the world, we're more than likely to continue pushing up. I've got above there a 4 hour pullback. That is where price has kind of danced around a little bit. We had a gap. We've come back and forward in there a little bit so far when the price was really running there at the beginning of February. And there's nothing really stopping price from just pushing straight up to that 4 hour pullback zone. So it'll be very interesting to see over the next couple of days, even the rest of today and through into New York, where price goes. Now moving down to the 1 hour, I don't think there's much there that we can add. We can see a little bit more clearly now the pullback to that 15-minute support and resistance zone. The blue zone I have below that daily BPR, I've noted there it's a refueling station. As we look back in time, we can see that price has kind of wicked into that. It did go through it, and then it's kind of pushed up into that 50% mark. But other than that, it's kind of just gone up and down very quickly into that zone. As it is today, price is just pushed straight on through it. So I don't think we've got too much to worry about in relation to that zone. It also happens that the previous day high is the top of that zone. So now that we've pushed well on through into that 15-minute support and resistance line above that, I think that, 5169 is being left in the dust, and we're more than likely going to push up there to that 5400 mark. I personally don't look too much at the 30-minute. As you can see, there's really not much more to add there. On the 15-minute, I do like to look at the 15-minute more often than the high time frames. I do that because as a 1-minute trader, the 15-minute can help me to stand back a little bit and to look at more clearly what's going on. We can see as the candles print there, we're struggling to get away from that that line, that mark there. So what is that? Let me see. 5173.9, so what, 5174. We're really struggling to get away from there, but at the same time, we're rejecting off that. So we've rejected a few times off that level. I feel like it's only a matter of time before we start to really push away from there and go higher. There is always the chance that we might dump a little bit while we get some liquidity or something like that. We'll have to wait and see what price does. I'm going to jump the 5-minute because I don't think we're going to add anything further there, and just go down now to the 1-minute and see what's happening on the 1-minute. So we can see more clearly now just how much price is really pushing away, really rejecting the top of that purple box there that I've got. We can see that at the moment we're in a bearish downtrend on the 1-minute. However, because of the strong bullishness of this market, I would not be entering into a trade on this time frame if it was bearish. I'm only looking for buys. So at this stage, I'm probably going to be waiting until price breaks structure. I'm going to put a line up here. Breaks structure about here, probably, because there's a few wicks there, 1, 2, 3, that have wicked up to that mark. So we've created a little shelf. If price pushes up, I'll be very interested to see what happens after that. As it is, I've had 2 winning trades today. Normally I close out at that point, but that doesn't mean I'm not interested in what's going on in the market. I'm always trying to hone my skills, trying to get better at understanding how price action works. I think knowing price action, understanding how price is related to different levels on the chart. Once you understand those things, you can not predict where price is going. We can never do that, but we can certainly react to things that are happening on the chart as they're happening in real time, and you can get some really great high probability trades. So there you go. That's my top-down analysis for 4:30 in the afternoon Sydney time. For the day, we'll be going into London and then obviously New York a little bit later tonight. I'll be very interested to see the reaction to world events from those 2 markets. There's been lots of opportunities, well, quite a few opportunities I personally have found this morning, and I'm really happy with the trades that I took. I might do a bit of a breakdown of what those trades were and post them later. Happy trading.